Diane ripped open the birthday wrapping paper. Her eyes widened. It was a doll. The doll was dressed in a yellowed dress and had shiny black button eyes. Diane hugged it tightly. "I'll name her Anya," she whispered. The doll had a soft cloth body. Its painted-on smile seemed so real. Diane took Anya everywhere. She slept with Anya in her bed. She even took Anya to the park. Diane's mum, Vivian, wasn't so sure about Anya. She thought the doll looked a little strange. But Diane loved Anya so much Vivian didn't say anything. She didn't want to spoil Diane's fun. One afternoon, Diane's friend Rachel came over. Rachel gasped when she saw Anya. "That doll is creepy," Rachel whispered. "You should get rid of it." Diane frowned. "No way! Anya's my best friend." She hugged the doll closer. Rachel shook her head. "I'm serious. Something's not right about it." But Diane didn't listen. She loved Anya too much. That night, Diane thought she heard something, a faint whisper coming from Anya. "Play with me," it seemed to say. Diane shivered. It was probably just her imagination. The next morning, Diane found Anya in a different position. The doll was now sitting upright on her desk, staring at her with its glassy black eyes. "Mummy!" Diane cried. "I think Anya moved!" Vivian sighed. "Don't be silly, honey. Dolls can't move." She placed Anya back on Diane's bed, but Diane couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The whispers started again that night. "Play with me, Diane." This time, Diane was sure it was Anya. Her heart pounded in her chest. She hid under the covers, too scared to move. Strange things continued to happen. Diane saw shadows moving in her room at night. Objects would disappear and reappear in different places. Vivian noticed Diane's growing fear. She started to wonder if maybe the doll wasn't so innocent after all. One day Vivian found an old newspaper clipping tucked inside Anya's dress. The headline read, "Local antique shop owner claims doll is possessed." Vivian's blood ran cold. She had bought Anya from that very shop. That night, Vivian heard Diane screaming. She raced into Diane's room and found her daughter cowering in the corner. Anya was gone. Vivian rushed Diane back to the antique shop. The shopkeeper, an old woman with kind eyes, listened intently to their story. "The doll," she said gravely, "is haunted by the spirit of a little girl who died tragically." The shopkeeper explained that the girl's mother, heartbroken, had poured all her love and grief into making the doll, but the grief twisted into something dark, possessing the doll. "The doll feeds on loneliness," she warned. "It wants to be loved, but its love is possessive and dangerous." Vivian knew what she had to do. She had to get rid of the doll for Diane's sake, but where was Anya? They found Anya in the attic of Diane's house. The doll was lying inside an old trunk, surrounded by dusty toys. But as Vivian reached for it, the trunk slammed shut, trapping her hand. "Mummy!" Diane screamed. The doll's head turned towards Diane, its painted smile taking on a sinister twist. "You'll play with me forever," Anya's voice hissed from the shadows. Just then, Vivian remembered something. The shopkeeper had told her that the doll's power was tied to the love poured into it. Vivian knew what she had to do. With a sob, Vivian looked at Diane. "I love you more than anything in the world," she said. Then she pried open the trunk and threw the doll inside. She slammed the lid shut and locked it tight. The house fell silent. The shadows disappeared. Diane ran into her mother's arms, trembling. The doll was gone, but the memory of its chilling presence lingered. Vivian knew that some bonds, even those born of love, are best left unbroken. From that day forward, they never spoke of the doll again. But sometimes late at night, Vivian could have sworn she heard a faint scratching coming from the attic and a whisper on the wind. "Let me out,"